Hello?
Yeah, hi, is this the Standards and Testings Agency?
Yes, that's right. The STA in charge of making sure the tests are right for you. How can I help?
Yeah, it's the government. We gave you 35 million to sort out the Key Stage 2 tests this year?
35 minutes. Wait, 1 second, sir. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do have that on account. Sure.
Yeah, do you realise you've made a mistake on the maths paper?
Yes. No, we did. We've got notes here, actually. We did make a mistake. That's right. It was actually Phil. He's a plonker. He is a plonker, mate. It's Phil.
Sorry,
if you knew Phil,
yeah, you are aware we paid you millions of pounds to check these papers.
listen, sir, don't worry about that. I would appreciate it if you kept your tone civil, okay? Because we are trying to explain to you that it was Phil who made the mistake. And if you'd like to make a complaint, then that's something we can go through with you, no problem. I'll just have to transfer you through to 17 different people. But don't you worry, because what we've done to actually fix the mistake for you is actually quite clever, okay?
Yeah.
In the mark scheme, all we've said is that if the children actually change the question themselves, cross it out and put an answer that fits, then they're going to get the mark. So don't worry about that, sir. All been sorted.
No, well, we obviously, we can't obviously change the question. We've never done that before.
No, sir. That's absolutely fine. We've taken care of that. I've actually got another call, so that's all. Thank you so much for your call today, and I'll see you next time. Hey, Charlie. How you doing?
It's still me. You've still got me.
Oh, sorry, sir.
So
just another.
I was
call.
just saying that.
Bye there. See you later.
This
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Teach, Sleep, Repeat. This is episode 16. My name is Dylan.
And my name is Hayden.
And that skit you heard at the start, an actual thing that happened. Well, okay, maybe that didn't actually happen. That wasn't actually a recording, but
was it not?
There was a mistake in this. No. That wasn't actually. That was something we recreated.
No.
I know it's very, very realistic,
Yeah.
but we did recreate that. But yeah, Hayden, there was actually. Can you? This is just crazy, right? There was an actual mistake in the SATs paper. Are we shocked?
Not. Do you know what? Not really. There's been a mistake before a couple of years ago, but I'm shocked at the fact that they spend so much money on this every year. The only data we have, by the way, is back from like 2012. That's the last bit of data I can find that's publicly accessible on how much they spend, and it was £35 million. £35 million for the Standards and Testing Agency for the SATs.
So the SATs. Oh, for the SATs.
Yeah,
I thought you were calling them the SATs.
No. That's just their budget for the Key Stage 2 SATs.
Oh my gosh. So the mistake, just so everyone knows, the mistake was in the maths paper. And it might sound insignificant to people listening who aren't teachers and stuff, but like you've got to remember how specific we are when we teach these children vocabulary in maths and how we look out for these kinds of things. And the question was, I think it was something squared. I think it was 4 squared or 7 squared, something like that,
yeah.
plus blank squared. So the exponent was written down, blank squared equals an answer. And what the children had to realize was that it had to equal 9. So something squared had to equal 9. That's what the question was asking. But the question said, write down the square number in the gap. Mm-hmm. Now there's a problem here because 9 is 3 squared. And the children had to write down 3 in the gap for it to work. 3, if you're not sure, isn't a square number. So the question saying write down a square number really threw a lot of children off who were taught to very carefully read the question. They know it has to add up to answer 9, but there's no number that's a square number that we can then square to get 9 as an answer. So this is a mistake on the paper. Hayden, can you explain what the answer actual scheme said?
So this is crazy. And this is what the reason we did the skit, by the way, is because we think they realized this. And which will explain the mark scheme. We think they realized this maybe in the later stages. Everything's printed, everything's been sent out or whatever, and they can't turn back now. Because the answer scheme says, accept 3 as an answer, because obviously that is the actual answer they were hoping for. But because it says, write a square number there, the answer scheme says, if they've crossed out the little 2, it literally says that. If they've crossed out the little 2 and written 9 there instead, you just give them that as well. They can have that answer. So if they've changed the question.
If they change the question. I love this because this is going to set a precedent and I'll teach all my children to do this. Just write 0 and change the question to 0 plus 0 or 0 squared.
Yeah.
Or 1 take away 1. It's fine. If we change the question, Good on you, lads. Let's get a mark. I just couldn't believe it.
Do you know
I
what?
couldn't
People
believe it.
listening that aren't in the teaching world are probably thinking, this is pathetic. Like, why are these guys even riled up by this? It's the tiniest thing. But you have to understand it's never happened before. The children cannot change anything in the paper. And we explicitly teach them that you cannot change the paper. You can't just cross out part of the question and then put your own number there. That's not right. But they clearly made a mistake. Their 1.7 million budget on writing the papers clearly wasn't enough to check. They did have to write 6 whole papers, to be fair, Dylan. That's quite a lot.
And to be honest with you, I think most of the budget went on making the English paper as hard as possible. So we'll let them off this time.